there's none, I just like to understand that that's not gonna end up needing for
Well, we got caught,
in
if you
October
recall.
or something, you know.
Recall, a couple of years ago, we fell behind on our replacement of vehicles, and it came back to bite us.
Now, I do remember distinctly when we talked about the motorcycles, that it was gonna take some wear and tear off of some of the vehicles in the months that we could use the motorcycles. That was before winter decided to come and not leave, but,
Made a note to touch base with the chief of police on the reaffirming the need for cruisers. I understand that's a
Mhm.
concern of the board. I'll report back at our next session, if not beforehand, in terms of what his views are on that. I understand.
okay, and then 23 was fund retirement obligations.
Excuse me, while you touch base with that, just again, on the, if the police, community policing grants evaporate, is there anything that we should be anticipating or need to put into the budget that we would normally spend those funds on? If they're not available. Because it's been a pretty regular thing for a number of years, so,
What's that?
the
Policing
community
grants.
policing grant money.
Yeah,
So the departments tend to
yeah.
know that that's a revenue source that's coming in, and they get
Right.
to buy certain things, and
Right.
there'll be some technology or upgraded equipment. They would normally have on a rotating basis, trying to get stuff
Yep.
upgraded. So if that falls by the wayside, is something that we're gonna come back for emergency expenditure for, or need, identifiable need.
That was only the governor's budget. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but we can cut that out and blame the governor, so it's
I
much
take it
easier to
the
legislate.
funding of the retirement obligations is to build a bank up, it's not to fund the specific year's retirement benefits, right?
The trust fund is to do what you suggest. The obligations is the 2010 number.
So that's where this would go, it's not just,
2010 is actually money that we estimate we need to pay out under retirement obligations. Trust funds would be the fund, wish fund.
oh, okay, because we didn't, the retirement obligations in the past were in the school budget because they were their retirees, and we didn't have any.
No, we've always voted it as a separate article.
It's always been put?
Yeah.
I don't recall.
Why don't I recall?
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
We funded it as an article.
Okay.
The reason why we do it is it allows us to bridge the fiscal year so that if someone is gonna leave and, we're allowed to carry that money forward and not expend it in totality. But it
Well,
is-
also, isn't it, haven't the teachers in some cases drawn that over more than 1 year? Did that occur before?
I can't comment on that.
Appropriate money that's left over after all of this into the stabilization fund. And then we have Article, 25, the retirement trust fund, that's what I was talking about. And then Article 26. I really don't see this happening
Give it a little time, Mr. Chairman.
in this, I don't wanna sound too negative, Steve, but the timing is terrible, and I yet to hear exactly what's
Right,
going
that's-
on and how they're.
just reserve your judgment till you hear the pitch, that's all. And I haven't heard the entire pitch yet, and I still have an open mind about it. I don't,
Yeah.
not necessarily endorsing the
I don't wanna
proposal.
be accused of having a closed mind.
Of course not.
Transfer funds from the ambulance enterprise account.
It's going to special.
That's going to a special, right?
Yeah, that's right, we're taking this out of here, right, Greg? And then, so, 27 is the reval, and that's gonna come out of overlay reserve. Have you talked to, the assessors about this at all, or?
I don't know that they have enough.
Well, that's what we need to know where we're at, because that may have some implications as to what we do.
And they won't know how much they have in there until the abatements are filed and they.
Well, got
Back to-
money from, yeah.
The abatements from the appeals come out of that overlay.
Fund wastewater design and permitting. Any idea what, how much money that's gonna be? Is that coming out of the, available funds? Or is
No,
this-
you asked for a summary, and you've got a copy in your packet
Oh,
of the,
that's right.
$750,000 that the town received as part of the Very Simple project. And the unencumbered balance that exists today is $383,797. You see what the proposed uses are for that, of course, those monies haven't been committed.
So, this, whatever is required for this would come out of the balance. Correct?
No.
Now, this would be in addition to the remaining balance that we have here.
And they're just looking for the amount to cover the permitting design, 58,797.
That's right.
So it's covered from, the funds are available for this. It's not coming out of raise and appropriate, it's not coming out of borrow.
I don't believe it's covered by the funds that are still available. Looking at the-
Then why does anticipated expenses, land acquisition, brook crossing, additional engineering, permitting and design total up to $383,797, leaving a balance of zero? Am I misreading this?
That's what they're anticipating they're gonna spend the money on, without considering additional design for the wastewater treatment plant.
And when it says that's what the unencumbered balance is, and they said they're planning on spending that money, the unencumbered balance, on the following.
And this is one of the items.
I don't know if it is, truly.
Wastewater.
Design and permitting.
Remember, all of this is motivated by these supposed federal monies that are being
Yeah.
made
So if you look at
available.
note, the final design, engineering, and permitting will cost more than the balance shown. Last sentence.
Yeah, I see that. So what we don't have is a figure for what that amount is. What he's saying is he's got 58,797.
for that particular
Left.
permitting stuff.
Okay. So we need information on that. Planning on getting money from the federal stimulus package. And fund painting of the exterior of the Memorial Library, and that's 29. And
I think we should vinyl sign it.
I agree. I'm serious, I do.
take the slate
Society.
roof off too. Greg, there was
I think it should be
there's an
vinyl sided.
opening on the,
I agree.
and it's your appointment, on the, trustees of the trust. So, filling that position with somebody would, maybe help us get to a point where we can talk to. Talk to a quorum about whether or not we can use any of the available funds.
Certainly, anyone who's listening who might be interested, need only drop me a note, phone call, whatever they prefer. But we do need one position.
Can you advertise for that, or?
Certainly.
We should recruit.
I think it's
I'm in
important. I mean,
favor of
there's-
recruiting first, but,
It's an important position to fill. I mean,
Yeah.
there's quite a bit of funds
Yeah.
in those trusts, so if we can use those to do some of these things this time, it'd be, it's a good thing to do.
so counted 30 articles. 9 and 13. It's close to citizens petitions. Anything else that you can think of, Greg, that might be coming up? Board members?
No, not at this time, no.
Further discussion regarding the articles? Greg, our public hearing is the first Monday in March, is that what we're scheduled?
March 2nd, informational hearings.
Informational hearings, and that'll be on the articles. Will we be discussing the, in detail, the omnibus article?
Absolutely. As much detail as we have available.
Town administrators?
March 2nd, correct?
Yeah. Town administrators report. Greg?
Yes, sir. Hold on a second, please.
Sure.
Included in your packet, refer to the yellow sheets, gold sheets. The total snow deficit, so the total amount expended on snow is $546,459. You see a breakdown of how those costs are distributed. As you know, we're out of money. We've had almost 56 inches of snow, which is considerably more than we would normally, the town would normally see in the course of a normal winter. We still have potentially another 6 weeks to go. The total deficit amount at this point would be approximately $271,000. So that's our operating deficit right now, it's approximately $271,000 in the snow.
The, we stockpile some material, right?
Oh, sure. We do.
So, does that show up, that's already been assessed in the list of materials here, or?
Yeah, we only pay for what we receive on order.
Okay.
So if you see the $165,000 expended on materials, that's actually materials that we have purchased. I can't tell you whether we've put $165,000 in materials down. It's assumed that for some of that stuff is held in reserve for the next storm.
Sure, in some respects, okay.
Some good news. You received a notice from Maya, Massachusetts Interlocal Insurance, concerning the town's property and liability. You'll see that we received a dividend amount of $3,726, which is good news. We frequently make changes to our insurance program during the course of the year, whether it's addition of vehicles or modification of the property and liability coverage, and certainly this amount will be used to offset any of those costs for the remainder of this fiscal year. And should it not be expended, it'll be closed out as a positive balance at the end of fiscal year 09. You asked me a week ago to report on the status of the payment in lieu of tax accounts. There's some concern that the Commonwealth was not going to fulfill its obligations to pay on the payment in lieu of taxes. We have collected to this point, and this is not in your packet, so you won't find it. We budget $130,614